On August 4th, 1975, Led Zeppelin lead singer Robert Plant and his family are badly injured in a car accident. But what injuries did Plant and his family suffer in the crash? And what tragedy befell the family just 2 years later? Robert Plant is one of the most iconic vocalists in the history of rock and roll. He rose to superstardom as a member of Led Zeppelin in the late 1960s and 1970s. He and his family were vacationing on the Greek island of Rhodes at the time of their 1975 car crash. It is unclear whether Plant or his wife Maureen was driving the rental car when the accident occurred. Both he and Maureen were seriously injured, but his children, fortunately, had more minor injuries. To get the best medical treatment, Plant had his family airlifted back to England. This may have saved Maureen's life, who suffered a fractured skull in the accident. Plant also received a head injury when he struck the car's windshield. Additionally, his elbow and ankle were broken, with doctors telling him the injury could affect his ability to walk. The couple's recovery was slow and forced the cancellation of an upcoming US tour. In the end, Plant made a full recovery. However, tragedy struck the family more severely 2 years later, when Plant's 5-year-old son Karac died of a sudden stomach infection while Led Zeppelin was on tour in the United States. Plant considered ending his music career, but a year later, the band began work on what would be its final studio album, 1979's In Through the Outdoor. This album features the song All My Love, Plant's touching tribute to his late son. If you're a Led Zeppelin fan, I highly recommend the 2025 documentary Becoming Led Zeppelin, which chronicles the band members' lives before Led Zeppelin and the unusual story of how they came together to form one of the most important bands in rock history. It features interviews from all 4 band members, including rare audio from deceased member John Bonham. The film can be streamed on Netflix. Here are other events that happened today in history. In AD 598, China's emperor orders an unsuccessful invasion against the Korean kingdom of Goguryeo. In 1704, English and Dutch forces capture Gibraltar from Spain, initiating more than 300 years of British rule. In 1914, US President Woodrow Wilson formally proclaims his nation's neutrality in World War I. In 1942, the US and Mexico create the Bracero Program, the largest guest worker program in US history. In 1944, the Nazis capture Anne Frank and her family, Jews who are living in hiding in Amsterdam. In 1961, Barack Obama, who becomes the first black US president in 2009, is born in Honolulu. In 2023, Oregon passes a law allowing customers to pump their own fuel at all gas stations in the state. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. Underground partisans stage a weeks-long armed uprising against German occupiers in 1944 in which city? Prague, Czechoslovakia, Vienna, Austria, Warsaw, Poland, or Sarajevo, Yugoslavia? Liked learning about Robert Plant's car crash? Then you should watch this one about the tragic death of guitar legend Eric Clapton's son. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.